and Right Honorable Raila Odinga are going to employ and are already employing with regards to BBI. As it's very clear now, definitely, Ruto seems to be coming to the fold. He has almost exhausted all the excuses he had, and basically he's now in the fold, just as have others. Now, what is his strategy? Ruto's strategy is basically to delay BBI. He started by making a number of demands even before the report was released. He has also, during the launch of the report at Bomas, pointed out a number of things which he feels are bad. Now, the strategy, according to Ruto, was to delay the process, because if they are going to look into these issues that he was raising, then that will take time. But I think the other side was smarter than he thought, because then they immediately incorporated those things and went ahead with the signature launch. Remember the time they postponed that launch of the signature, it was felt this would take a long time because they needed time to address some of the issues raised by churches, SUPKEM, people like Musalia Mudavadi, but more particularly William Samoei Ruto. That wasn't the case. The train has left. Now, the strategy now, as we can see, is to continue making further demands, because like he says, even with the signature launch, there's still room for consensus building. He knows that's not going to be possible. What other strategies is he employing? You will remember that the Nandi County, through its speaker, my friend Kipto, and I think the Kericho Bomet County, have moved to court to challenge some of the issues they believe need to be addressed by way of advisory from the Supreme Court. But I think the trick here is just to delay the process. Because if you look at some of the issues they are raising, they are all addressed clearly in no uncertain terms by the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya 2010. And some of them are even laughable. How, for example, can you ask that people vote on individual clauses? You know, the amendment bill is an omnibus bill. It has so many clauses. If you are to subject all these clauses to individual votes, in other words, let Kenyans vote on each item. If you like 35%, you say yes. If you don't like the 70 constituencies, you say no. For heaven's sake, how long will an average voter take in the polling booth? He will be there the whole day. Supper will have to be brought to him. He will be there the whole night. He will take a little nap. He will be given a breakfast. And he might be through the following day lunchtime. I mean, if voting for the 6 slots takes the long it takes, the average voter takes the long he takes, how about engaging on constitutional issues and isolating those within the voting of the voting booth? How long will it take? It is therefore ridiculous and laughable. And the issue that county assemblies should not be rubber stamped. That when bills are introduced to the county assembly, should be able to debate and amend. Do you know how long that can take? How long that will take will be as long as the 47 counties will take to debate the individual clauses and the amendments. It's not going to be possible. And that's not what the Constitution envisages. Ditto Parliament, even those who are arguing, when a popular initiative bill is introduced in the National Assembly and Senate, they should be able to debate, because as things stand now, they cannot vary. Whether they say yes or no, it doesn't matter. The bill will still go to the vote. If Parliament were to be allowed again to look at the clauses and amend, it will be a whole new process. It won't be the envisaged referendum bill. It will be a new thing. They will be coming up with their bill, and not, because the popular initiative is founded on a simple principle or philosophy, that I go to Parliament because I'm not an MP. I petition Parliament to enact a certain law. If they do not enact that law, I move to Kenyans. 1 million of them, if they sign to support my initiative, then I come up with a bill. It is my bill. It belongs to the people of Kenya who have given me the authority to provide the 1 million signatures. To that extent, when it goes to Parliament, it is merely because Parliament must convey, because it is Parliament that plays a role of enacting laws. So it's a mere formality. You cannot interrogate. So Ruto's strategy of delaying this thing, I think it will not work. Raila, on the other hand, has only one singular strategy: to draw Ruto into war. Why? Because like Ruto, Raila recognizes Ruto has lost this game. There's no way Ruto can win. That partly explains why Ruto is trying to give conditions, knowing very well, even if he led the no condition, the no team, he would lose in the referendum. So that's part of it. But for Raila, it means, since he's so certain Ruto is going to lose if he opposes this thing, he wants to draw him into the ring and blood him within the ring. Because Ruto losing in a referendum, and that's why Ruto is also avoiding it. Because the moment you lose in this referendum, it then means 2022 for you, Ruto, is gone. And that's why he's avoiding a referendum. But at the same time, that's why Raila wants to draw Ruto in this referendum to make him lose. You see the strategy. There's something else that Raila is going to gain if this referendum goes the way it's going. He's going to gain because it's going to be presented indeed in the manner it has already been presented as a government initiative. You can see those supporting it. Secondly, it's being made to appear like if you oppose this referendum, if you oppose BBI, you are in a sense opposing Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Now, this is not a laughing matter. For this reason, Raila is quite aware, and Uhuru too is aware, that we are back to 1992, when we are going to witness a lot of defections. They have already begun. My friend Manga, the deputy governor of Kisii County, who has been a Ruto point man, is now leading the BBI signature collection in Kisii. He's boarded the BBI train. Malava MP in Nyeni or something like that, a strong Ruto ally in the western region, is already out of the Ruto team and firmly within the BBI. Let me assure you, before long, by this referendum, the BBI move that leads to referendum is going to see a lot of defection. And for Raila, this means the deal is done. For Uhuru, it's gone. I therefore finally just have a word of advice for both parties and both sides. Work as Kenyans. Let's not play tricks. Let nobody make unreasonable demands. Finally, my advice to William Samoei Ruto, and I've been a very good man. Whenever I advise Ruto, people say Manyora can't advise him. Manyora is a Raila man. I'm not any of those things. I just see things. And if you are honest with yourself, you will agree most of the things I said have come to pass. When I said you didn't have the numbers you are talking about in parliament, where were the numbers when you are being harassed in parliament? So when I say today, when I said a month or so ago, 2 months ago, that you don't have the numbers to oppose this referendum, people said I was joking. Where are the numbers now? You cannot oppose this referendum. You cannot. And when I say something going forward, because you still have a chance to fight, in order to fight, you must assess your opponent properly. And this is one thing Ruto has failed to do. You are underrating Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. I hear they call him Kamwana. This man is tough, my friend. I've told you. He has not even started the game. And you can see the tremors. By the time Uhuru is done with you, my friend, you will not recognize yourself. And for that reason, I've advised, be realistic. Intelligence calls for one to make an honest assessment of themselves and of their abilities. And therefore, you come up with your strategies, taking into consideration your own abilities, that you've made a personal assessment of yourself. And that's why I've always said, if I were William Samoei Ruto, my eyes will be on 2027, 2032. Because 2022, I have said, it is gone. 2022 is a done deal. And if you try to go into 2022, you'll be dead on arrival. William Samoei Ruto. Remember something else, and I've said before, in some write-ups, and I think my YouTube video, and I think on TV appearance, I've said this before. The victor in 2022 will crush the loser. If William Samoei Ruto, you win, you will crush this side. And you know it. So I'm only reminding you what you already know. That if they win, they will crush you. and they are going to win. Don't give them the chance to crush you, because that will be the end of your political career. If I were you, and I'm finishing by reminding you, join them in 2022 so that you don't give them an opportunity to crush you. Because the victor in 2022 will require space to operate without interference from the loser. The handshake team of Raila and Uhuru would want 10 years to implement the BBI and the handshake, and they will not want you around. That will happen even if it was you, or if it were you also. So don't give them that opportunity, because they will want space. And more particular, and this is the final thing I'm saying, I've said before, there was BBI one, I said there is another BBI, and it came to pass. Now there is this BBI. I said this, and let me say again. The really changes to the Kenyan constitution will not be achieved through this referendum. The really change will come past 2022. When the victor has vanquished the loser, they will then bring changes. If you are looking for a